What's up guys, Hotshotfrontier back at it again with another video. And in this video guys, I thought we would do a nice little overview of Age of Overlord. If you guys don't know, it's coming out very soon in October 20th to be exact. That is for the official launch, and then OTS is 2 days, always 2 days prior, so it would be the 18th. But I want to go ahead and go over the cards in this set because these cards are going to be absolutely insane. Right on the website we have about 81 cards announced, but of course as we get closer and closer to the official release, you will see more and more leaks of the remainder cards from the set. Let's go ahead and get into the first one, and that is the M set Glory of Horus. So this is, of course, you guys know what Horus is. It's an old archetype, but the new cards operate very differently, and honestly these cards will be meta because just of how they operate. I'll explain to you guys what they do. So pretty much they operate around a continuous spell card. I'm going to show you guys. It is the Pharaonic Sarcophagus, and what this card does is Horus monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects unless they target them. You can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, send one Horus monster from your deck to the graveyard, and you can only activate this card up to 4 times per turn, by the way. Once per turn at the start of the damage step, if you play Horus, a Horus monster battles your opponent's monster, you can send that monster to the graveyard. Send effect, which is pretty powerful, and there are a lot of ways to grab this card too. So a lot of the monsters again have pretty different effects. The second effect, the first effect is basically if you control that continuous spell card, you can just spam it out on field, which is kind of crazy, but there are a lot of like XYZ plays of course you could do with this. But for this one specifically, you can send 2 cards from your hand to the graveyard, including this card, add 1 Pharaonic Sarcophagus, you're adding that card to your hand so you can activate it, then you draw a card. And yeah, it's just pretty insane. The last effect is if your opponent pretty much send another card on the field while you control this monster, you can send 1 card on the field to the graveyard. Sending effect is very powerful again. So going on to the Damnutsif Blessings of Horus. This card is really good because this one gains 12 attack and defense for each Horus monster you control, and again has that effect where if your opponent sends something other than this card on the field, you can draw cards up to the number of monsters with different names in your main monster zones. So yes, if you have like 3 or 4 monsters, yeah, you're gonna be drawing that many cards when they do that, which is crazy. You have Harpy. Harpy is really cool because you can target 2 cards that are banished or in the graveyard to either add them both to the owner's hands or shuffle both back to the deck. So it helps you and it actually really messes your opponent up, which is pretty cool. And then of course you have this one. I'm not even attempt to pronounce it, but pretty much if you activate this card's effect, your opponent's monsters cannot target Horus monsters on the field for attacks. Also, your opponent cannot target them with card effects. So again, it's just kind of crazy. You have this and the Pharaonic Sarcophagus on field, because then you're really just set. So yeah, this archetype is going to be pretty crazy. I've seen people play the border monster in their deck. You play there can only be 1 because you lock them and then you send that monster during the battle phase to the graveyard, because a lot of people don't read, of course, and that's pretty much it. So if you guys want to see an in-depth deck profile of this archetype, let me know down below. I'm down to go ahead and create some on EDO Pro and show you guys. But yeah, this archetype is going to be crazy. This is probably like the new anti-meta archetype. But let's go ahead and go into the next one. We have the Diabell Star, the Dark Witch. So this is kind of going from the Duelist Nexus, the Sinful Spoils cards that we did get from there. This is now giving them more archetype, cards for that group. So it's going to be really cool to see what this kind of really does. But this is kind of cool because this is kind of like the searcher for the deck. This is what it does: is it sets 1 Sinful Spoil spell or trap directly from the deck to the field, and this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard during your opponent's turn. You can send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard if you do special summon this card back. So it's really nice. And of course you can also special summon this card from your hand by sending 1 other card from your hand or the field to the graveyard. So a lot of utility with this card, and it has 2500 attack too, so that's not bad. Going on to the next one, the original Sinful Spoils Snake Eye. Send 1 other basic card you control to the graveyard. So summon 1 level 1 fire monster from your hand or deck. So it's another good card to actually search as well. But I can't wait to see how this deck develops after Age of Overlord comes out. Next up we have is Magicians of Bonds and Unity. And you guys are probably like, this came out in Duelist Nexus, what's going on? Well, Of course, they are actually releasing it in the yellow variant version. That's kind of like the gimmick for this year, where they're going to be the next core sets will be the same card but different colored background for it. I mean, I can't deny it won't look amazing like in a binder, but of course that's something that you seem interested in doing. I would get of course the green variant very soon, because if not, once everything comes out, it's going to go up in price. So yeah, it looks pretty good, I mean, to be honest. But that's it. If you're interested in that, definitely go ahead and do that. Moving on to the Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon. Another card for Snake Eyes. It's very interesting. It's like a reverse Crystal Beast effect, where you know how Crystal Beast monsters, if they're destroyed, they go to the Spawn Trap card zone. This one says, let me grab one of your monsters and put it into my Spawn Trap card zone. So it's really interesting. I can't wait to see where this archetype goes. But let's see, going on to the next one with the Labyrinth Butler Arias. And this card's pretty interesting because it's a quick effect in hand or field. You send it to the graveyard, and you can special summon a Labyrinth monster or set a normal trap. It cannot be activated this turn though, but it's really interesting. It's kind of like, okay, what do I need at this moment? You know, do I need a Labyrinth monster, or do I need a normal trap card? So it's nice to have. I think it's even gonna probably push the deck even further up. So another card that Labyrinth probably doesn't need right now, but it's interesting that it has it though. So not bad. Going on to the Novels. Novels are getting more support in this archetype as well, which is really interesting. I'm not going to read the entire effect, but pretty much this card is a very good card for the archetype. And let me know down below if you guys think so as well. And going on, we have a new Visas card. Of course, we have the Visas Samsara. Now, this card's pretty interesting because you can go ahead and target any number of your Visas monsters that are banished on your field or in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and you do special summon this card. It's a level 4 tuner, of course. You know, we love tuners. This card gains attack 400 for each monster with different names shuffled by this effect. But I think it's really going to be used as a level 4 tuner mainly, which is really interesting. Going to the next one, we have the Supreme Celestial King Odd Eyes Arc Ray Dragon. I love how Konami, they love making like really long names, but somehow it just works. It hits different, you know. But this card's really cool. Of course, this is the main card on the card box for this set, right? So this one's really cool. It's kind of like a new Supreme Odd Eyes Dragon monster, but it has like it's a card that kind of bridges the support sort of that it had before. You know, it's kind of harder to bring out the Arc V Dragon. This one, you just kind of need to have the Supreme King Z Arc Dragon on field, and you can just summon this pretty much. And the new support cards enable it to be summoned a lot quicker and easier than it used to be, which is pretty interesting. So look out for that. I mean, it will probably be more of like not even rogue table mode or like just for fun really, but it's interesting to see. Going on to the next one, we have Earthbound Servant Geo Grimlina. So Earthbound are getting more support in the form of Earthbound Servants. So these are cards that were pretty much mainly from the Arc V anime, if you guys did not know, but they had really interesting effects, of course, in the anime, and I'm actually pretty happy to see them kind of like, you know, realized as in like now they're moving to TCG, which is going to be really cool to see, because I can't wait to see how someone like cheeses this card out against their opponent at locals. It's going to be pretty fun. So I can't wait to see that. But go on to the Rivermet, the Phantom Beast Dark Ruler. So this card is really cool because it's the first like illusionist Chimera support we're getting after Duel's Nexus. And this, you know, you guys already know Branded Chimera is pretty good. And this card, when it's fusion summoned, you can send one Beast, Fiend, or Illusion monster from your deck to the graveyard. During your opponent's turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your banished Beast, Fiend, or Illusion monsters, and you can special summon it. So it's pretty nice. It's just another card that helps like bridge certain gaps if you're like missing a certain line in your play. So can't wait to see that. But going on, we have the TGs, because TGs are actually getting support as well. It's nice to see Konami making new cards for older archetypes and fixing old problems that it may have had. And I think with TGs, the comp line was very long, but I think with the new support coming out for them, it's helping kind of like reduce the amount of combos they're doing with the deck. I mean, but if you guys think differently, let me know down below. But the cards look really interesting, so I can't wait to see where that goes. We have the Watt monsters, of course, and these look really good, especially with the Watt Kingdom. Your opponent cannot activate the effects of any of their monsters in the same column as this card, and or one of your Watt monsters that activate when they are normal or special summoned. So this is really cool because it's like an infinite permanent effect, but it's permanent because the as long as you have the Walk Kingdom on field. So it's pretty interesting. I think it gives them more versatility in terms of if you're playing Watts. So, and there have been some really good wall monsters as well. So it's good to kind of getting, you know, that additional support that it needed. But going on to the next one, we have the Manadium Trislo-Sugda. So this card, when it's synchro summoned, you can target one level 2 tuner in your graveyard to summon it, but its effects are negated. You can target any number of tuners you control. Their levels become 2. Also, you can ask for summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of your turn, except synchro monsters. So this is really nice to have, of course, because you guys know which level 2 tuner monsters you're going to be targeting and summoning with this effect. But we'll see kind of like how this is going to be used in Manadium, because the extra deck is just so tight. It's hard to add new cards, but can't wait to see how that goes. And we're going on to one of my favorite cards here. We have the Transcendorus Exa Raptor. So this card's really cool because when it's special summoned, you can target special summon one dinosaur monster from your hand. If a face-up dinosaur monster this card points to is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, you can draw one card. If this card is destroyed, you can shuffle a normal monster from your graveyard into the deck. Then you can special summon this card. So this card's really cool in multiple ways. So it enables a lot of more combos, of course, because you can special summon a dinosaur monster from your hand. Then if you're playing Lost World, of course, what you can do with this card is go ahead and find a way to destroy that token. And what that's going to do is going to enable you to draw a card. And on your opponent's turn, you know, if this card is destroyed, or you can even destroy it too as well, if you want to recover the normal monster, the Paleozoic monster. I can't, like, off the top of my head think about what the name of it is, but you can bring it back from your graveyard into your deck and special summon this card out. So maybe if you want to link climb as well. So there are a lot of utilities with this, and you know, just summoning it out, including a level 6 or higher monster in general, is not hard to do. So I can't wait to see how this kind of like enables, you know, dinos to go further up the list, especially if we get missed back to 3. So we'll see where that goes. But moving on to like the final card I have here is the Planetary Eulogy. So this card, what it does is you target one monster you control, and when affect monster your opponent controls, destroy that monster you control, and if you do, negate that opponent's monster's effect. Now, don't get me wrong, I want to see, could you use this with Unchanged, technically, because you can go ahead and pop your Unchained monster and then kind of get off that effect while also negating your opponent's effect. So it's kind of like an infinite permanence, but it's a quick play. So it's very interesting to see. But again, if you have Visa Starfrost on the field, you can destroy the targeted monster as well, which is really nice. And you'll probably see this somewhere in terms of like Visa Starfrost, but there is a Vita monster card on the field. You can banish this card from your graveyard, destroy one monster your opponent controls. So really interesting. But yeah, guys, this is really all I wanted to show you from this set. But of course, more will be coming out. So let me know if I missed any cards. I definitely missed a lot of cards, but there's just so many good cards in the set. I wanted to kind of just talk about an overview of them. But guys, if you like this video, make sure you give it a huge like. Comment down below, what is your favorite archetype coming out of this set? I'm so curious to find out. And guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you're updated the moment I upload new videos. But guys, that's it for me. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.